should say, I would like to see some more positive steps in GPs responding positively to requests for PSA tests. Well, we've done that. And this is it, this is an important point, and a ceasing of the refusal to do a test based on no symptoms. Even here, if you're reading your newspapers, and the Daily Mail have been very good in having a campaign, promoting more testing for prostate cancer. However, a lot of the time when you're reading it, it's always a case of, these are the symptoms. Well, no, not always. 30 to 40%, correct me if I'm wrong, one of you please out there, people go along and are tested positively and have no symptoms that they're aware of. So that is the question really there, sending people away because they don't have symptoms. Peter.
I would be surprised if anyone who had been to medical school or GP training, I just thought they should all know that. I'd be very, it would be pretty simple and pretty basic. So they should all know that, to be honest. So.
Okay, so the debate about screening still hasn't been answered, and you'd think by now it would have been. But so many things keep changing in the delivery of investigations and treatment that what might apply from a screening research study from the 90s or the early 2000s may not apply to 2024. So things such as multiparametric MRI scan was not around when some of the screening trials were being developed and deployed. So we know in the European prostate cancer screening study, 180,000 plus men, that actually the data now is maturing beyond 15 to nearly 20 years, that screening has saved lives and has reduced prostate cancer mortality by up to 30%. So the evidence is forming now that early diagnosis and early treatment does make a difference. The trade-off, of course, is the difficulty of diagnosing non-significant cancers, but I've already made a comment about that, because things that used to be thought to be not significant may be significant in 10, 15, 20 years. And also the side effects of treatment, we can't shy away from them. We can completely change a man and his family's life if we make him incontinent with my robotic prostatectomy, or I give him erectile dysfunction, or heaven forbid, he has a serious complication like I injure his bowel. All of those things are not great for something which theoretically isn't going to be a threat to the man for many, many, many years. So that's the trade-off of early diagnosis. But unfortunately, we know that around 20% of men present with metastatic disease. Still, in this country, within the last year, 20% of all prostate cancers were metastatic at presentation. So that's really not, just isn't acceptable. The number needed to screen to save one life for prostate cancer is now around the same as the number needed to screen to save one life for breast cancer. And we know that there's a national screening for breast cancer program, and we know that there's a cervical cancer screening program, but there isn't a prostate cancer screening program. Why not? Well, okay, it's a long discussion, but some of it will boil down to resources, not just the pros and cons of should you be tested, the risks of the biopsy, diagnosing insignificant cancers. It's to do also, I think, with being able to deliver the treatment. You can't start a screening program and not follow it through and continue to follow it through. So if you're going to start the screening program, you have to do it properly, and we're not anywhere near resourced to do that, I'm afraid.